What's up, everybody? Hope you guys are all doing well. We are here, myself and two other analysts, talking the Pittsburgh Steelers 2025 schedule preview and predictions. And I did go ahead and wore my Steelers shirt just to openly disclose I am a fan. I'm not hiding it. So if you don't like my takes, just know there's a little bit of bias in there, but I will cover this very, very genuinely. But that said, first guy joining us today, Mr. Bryson Owens at Bryson Owens 16. You guys can find him there, my man. Good to see you. You excited to talk Pittsburgh Steelers with me?
Yeah, I'm always excited to talk Steelers with you, man.
Well, I'm looking forward to it too. It's always a good time. And we also have another Steelers fan in the building, a man from Columbus, Ohio, currently, Mr. Seth Douglas. Brother, good to see you. How's the day going?
Going pretty good, pretty good. I was about to say, like you said, quick disclosure. I got my Steelers right behind me too, so it's all good.
We out here. So Bryson Owens has his hands full on this one here. But gentlemen, we're going to dive on in here into week one. But very quickly before we do so, do want to remind everybody, no more Russell Wilson, no more Justin Fields. The quarterback carousel continues in Pittsburgh in case you're sleeping under a rock. Justin Fields takes Aaron Rodgers' job. Aaron Rodgers takes Justin Fields' job. And here we are jumping on in to week number one. Can Aaron Rodgers take the Pittsburgh Steelers to the playoffs this season? So looking here, very first game. Oh, we just spoke about it at the New York Jets Sunday, September 7th, taking on Mr. Justin Fields here. And Bryson, I can't wait for your take on this one, my man, because this is a mix of the Pittsburgh Steelers on the road with Aaron Rodgers up against the quarterback that you have never believed in Justin Fields. So explain this one to me. Can Pittsburgh go on the road, Aaron's first game, and get a win over Justin Fields?
Yeah, I think the more interesting storyline I have for this game specifically is how Aaron Rodgers is going to be received by the Jets fans. I think that's going to be really interesting to see how the Jets fans welcome Aaron Rodgers back, whether he's extremely booed and hated over there or if they welcome him back in New York with open arms. I think that's going to be interesting to watch. I do think the Steelers are the better team here. They obviously have the better coach. Obviously, with rookie head coach Aaron Glenn, no one knows what he's going to look like as an NFL head coach. And obviously, Pittsburgh has Mike Tomlin on their side. I'm not a believer in Justin Fields, like you mentioned, but I don't want you to – I want you to remember last year when people were trying to talk up Aaron Rodgers and you shot everyone down. You kept calling Aaron Rodgers trash. You said it was a terrible – he was no longer the Aaron Rodgers he used to be. I don't want you to all of a sudden now go, oh, but he's a Steeler. So now Aaron Rodgers is back to being GOAT Aaron Rodgers and the MVP. I still am worried about Aaron Rodgers, especially behind this Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line, which I'm sure I'll talk about in other matchups throughout the season. But I don't think the Jets are good enough to take advantage of some of the Pittsburgh Steelers' weakness. I think DK versus Sauce is going to be a really interesting week one matchup, but I think Fields is going to struggle against the Steelers defense. As old as the Steelers defense is, especially in the secondary, I just don't think Fields is a good enough quarterback to take advantage of it. So I'm going to give the Steelers a win in week one.
Can I get a score prediction from you just to kick things off here?
Oh, it's going to be ugly, like 21-17. Like I think it's going to be a game where it's going to be a struggle to put up points throughout most of the outing.
Okay. Steelers take a close one. Seth, what are you looking at here, man?
I like Bryce's little soliloquy about how the offensive line isn't going to be as good. Justin Fields wasn't that good. That sounded all great. But to be honest, I do feel like the offensive line is going to take that next leap forward. We're bringing back Blake Frazier, top center in the league right now. I think he's in the top 10 at least when it comes to his position. We're also bringing in I always mess up his name, but the left tackle from Washington, I can't pronounce his name, so I'm not going to do that right now. But he didn't get to play last year due to injury, so with him being able to step in and rightfully be on the left side of Aaron Rodgers protecting him, I think this offensive line is going to take a massive step, and we're going to be able to see Rodgers be upright for majority of the year. But I do think the Steelers will win this game. Score prediction, I'm going to agree with Bryce on it being ugly, but I'm gonna go 17. No, let's do 20 to 17. We'll do some light.
Okay. Well, I like the 20 better than the 21 because there's a man named Chris Boswell, and he is the GOAT of the kickers in the NFL. And for all you guys that said Justin Tucker, between what happened last year and now what happened in the offseason, that conversation's over. So it is Chris Boswell. Brandon Aubrey, damn good kicker in his own right, but he's not there yet. He's got to prove it more before he becomes Chris freaking Boswell. So anyway, that being said, gentlemen, first off, I love that I don't have to come here and go to war in week number 1. This is kind of fun here. They're going to walk in there and they're going to get a big time win. And I'll tell you what's kind of interesting. The Steelers are only favored, and I want to say 6 games this year. 5 of those games, they're favored by a field goal or less. Most of them, it's about 1.5 to 2 points that they're favored. They have one game where they're favored by 6.5, I want to say against the Cleveland Browns, and that's it. So this is one of the few games that odds makers are saying, hey, they should walk in here and they should be able to handle business. And I agree with that. I think you guys kind of nailed it. About 3 to 4 point wins for both of you, 2.5 points on the spread right now. All that said, Bryson, you said it's going to be interesting to see how Aaron Rodgers walks in here and the reception from the crowd. I don't think he gives a damn. I don't think he cares if he walks in there and they boo the crap out of him. Dude, this is a dude who was a Lambo guy. Those are real fans. Jets fans aren't real fans. Get out of here. Jets, no one gives a shit, okay? They're just not that legit. And I don't think you walk in there and are intimidated. At the end of the day, if anything, he's going to be walking there motivated. He's going to walk in there feeling confident. Like, these are the same guys. This is Aaron Glenn, the dude who I never talked to in my life, and he called me in just to cut me. Bro, you're walking in there pissed off. You're not walking in there nervous. I don't think you're walking in there with any kind of fear. I think he's walking in there for business. And I said what I said about Aaron Rodgers last year, but I'm not going to say that he's going to get outplayed by Justin Fields in week number 1. It's just not going to happen. I think DK Metcalf has a big game here. I think him and Aaron click. I think Jaylen Warren takes a very commanding RB1 role, wants to get it going early. I just think it's a good Steelers win here. I'm going to go a little deeper than you guys, though. I'm going to go Steelers 27. I'll be nice. 27-20. I was going to say 27-17, but I'll keep it a touchdown game. But if Justin touches the ball with 3 minutes or less to go, he's not scoring a touchdown. So there you go. Steelers 27-20. Sweep across the board for the gentleman here. Mr. Justin Fields looks pretty in the green and white, but it ain't going to pay off for him.
Riggs,
I just get some numbers real quick so I can get them out of the way. Just for the Steelers' offensive line. The Steelers' offensive line is the biggest concern I have for them heading into this year. I know you mentioned, Seth, that you think it's going to improve, but, I mean, these are the numbers for the Steelers' offensive line last season with slightly more mobile quarterbacks. I know Russell Wilson at age 36 isn't the most mobile guy, but he's more mobile than Aaron Rodgers. And then Justin Fields on the other side is much more mobile than Aaron Rodgers. Last year, they were tied for the 9th most sacks given up with 49. They allowed the 29th worst pressure rate at 38.6. They were bad against the blitz with a 9.8 sack rate, 22nd. They gained the 28th most yards per carry last year. Like, they were just not a good offensive line last year. And now you have a less mobile quarterback in Aaron Rodgers back there. I'm really worried that offensive line is not going to let Aaron Rodgers hold up through an entire season. That's my biggest concern with this team heading into this year.
I can get down with that, but I look at those numbers in relation to the situation that they were in multiple times throughout the year. Throughout the year, they were in passing downs a lot of the time because they were off schedule, and Arthur Smith likes to be in a offense that's on time, on schedule, where you're getting consistent first downs. So for him to be put into situations and trying to draw plays where you're trying to get a big chunk play, that's not his talent, and the offensive line was not made for that. And going back to how I was saying we were down our projected left tackle, I feel like that's going to ensure that. But I give you the numbers. The numbers sound good, but we got to put some context to them too.
Sure. Seth, what was your question, man? Did you have a question for me, Seth? I thought you said you were starting to say you had a question. Yeah.
My bad. My bad. Yes, I do have a question. Do you believe this offense is going to be potent,
Mm,
or are we going to see the same draw it out, consistent, run
mm.
heavy
Look at Bryson.
kind of offense where it's going to be really,
Uh,
really low scoring and kind of ugly to watch? Because I still feel like we're going to get that, especially with these
mm,
the trade that just happened. I'm pretty sure we're going to get into later on,
mm.
but
Yeah.
going to a lot of two tight end sets. I feel like we're going to see a lot of smash mouth football.
I do too. And at the end of the day, I think Bryson, you and I were on the NFL draft show together, and we both agreed after we discussed, the whole NFL draft afterwards, that we thought that the running back pickup from Iowa was phenomenal. And we thought it was a very
Mhm.
sneaky pick. It was a very good back to bring in. They let
Yeah.
Najee Harris go. Some people agree with it. Some people don't. I love Najee Harris, but I was one of the few guys last year that said it looks like Le'Veon when Le'Veon lost it. It just isn't the same guy. And once you lose the burst and you run with your head up, you're done. You're cooked, bro. And when Jalen Warren makes you look like an RB1, you got to fix something here. So I like that they're going back to the run game here. They're not going to just abandon it because they had a year running the football. So I do agree with you. I think bringing in Jonnu Smith there from the Dolphins was a good move, honestly. I'm iffy about that whole Minka thing because I love Minka as a player. He's a defensive captain with TJ Watt, and I just like the guy. But I think it shows you, Seth, like you just said, they're gonna go back to Smash Mouth, and it's part of the plan here. And I don't blame them for it. Then through the air, I do think there's going to be moments where we're sitting there, and it's 3rd and 8, and that numbnuts calls a negative 1 yard screen. And we're just like, Jesus, bro, throw the damn ball, right?
Exactly.
It's going to happen. It's guaranteed to happen. But I think it's more limited. I think that they're going to stop playing the whole quarterback keeper. Russ looked lost. Every time that he did a quarterback keeper last year, he looked lost. If he ran with it, he looked stupid. He was clumsy with it. And if he tried to throw it late, it just didn't work out. They're going to let Aaron either hand it off to one of two very good running backs, or they're going to throw the football down the field. And to me, I think Tomlin's even going to tell him, hey, look, we got to open it up a little bit. If Aaron throws 16 yards across the middle on 3rd and 5 and we don't get it, that's okay. We have to play like that. We can't do these little things all the time. So to answer your question in bold, I do think they're going to run more. I do think they're going to have more success running, but I also think they're going to try more balls down the field. DK is a better wide receiver than George Pickens. You can say what you want. You can say he's older. I don't care. He's a better body. He's more experienced. And I just trust his hands overall more than I do George Pickens. So personally, I think they're going to move the ball really well down the field. And I also expect the tempo to speed up a little bit. You got two fast running backs. You got big guys in him. You got Aaron Rodgers, who can calculate, in my opinion, a lot quicker than Russell Wilson can. And Russell Wilson, no offense, bro, his only ball downfield that was good was the back shoulder fake.
The moon ball. Yeah, the moon ball.
What other ball? What other ball was there? Like, that was it, dog. So I think Aaron's going to do a lot more. And I think guys like Calvin Austin, like some of these other guys that are a little bit less known wide receiver, I think they're going to do better in the slot. And at least as long as they run slants, stop running 2-yard slants and at least run 5-yard slants. Like, please move the chains. That's all I ask. So anyway, long story short, we got to move here, gentlemen. So we just talked about DK Metcalf. You guys just said it. It's going to come up, and here it is. DK Metcalf and the Seahawks. First, it's Justin Fields playing his old team, and now it's DK Metcalf in week number 2. This one's going down in Pittsburgh. Might just have to make our way out to this game here because it's going to be a fun one. The big question here, Seth, looking at this one is DK Metcalf, is this going to be more of he can pick apart that defense because he knows them, or they can shut him down because they know him?
I'm going to say it's a combination of both. I will go the lighter half of him being able to get what he wants and be able to be a factor in this game. But I do feel like there's some familiarity there with both sides. So I'm not going to expect DK to be like this explosive guy for that game. But I do feel like he's going to pick his spots very well, and he's going to make his presence known.
Going to make his presence known. Can you get a winner from you in this one? Tough opener here for Pittsburgh.
I will go Steelers 27, Seahawks 21. I think Sam Darnold will have a Sam Darnold game and kind of surprise us in that week 2. Zach Charbonnet, Mike McDonald, if that defense will probably give them some fits, but I think the Steelers will pull this out and get a W.
So I just want to throw it out there. 1 second you asked me about the Steelers offense, and the next second you got them putting up 27 points against a Mike McDonald defense. Now I like what you're saying here. So we are saying these chains are moving. These points are going up on the board.
The chains are moving.
Hey, I like it. Bryson, I got to ask you though,
I still feel like my bad.
Is 20? No, you're good. Is 27 points, Bryson, a stretch for the Steelers, not just in this game, but this season? Or do you think they can kind of start to get up to that mid-20s kind of team?
No, I think 27 is a bit of a stretch for the Steelers, just kind of in general, but especially in this game. I mean, you have to look at what the Jets were putting up in terms of points per game a year ago, and they were not a high-scoring team last season. I believe they were in the bottom half of the NFL in terms of points per game. I'm looking up right now. They were 25th in the NFL in scoring last year at 19.9. And I think the Jets offense, in terms of talent, very comparable to what the Steelers are working with here. You have DK Metcalf, a below average to, in my opinion, really bad offensive line. I'm not an Arthur Smith guy. Everyone knows that. I think he's one of the league's worst offensive coordinators. So you have that working against you, in my opinion. You have unproven running backs. Like in New York, he had Garrett Wilson. Bad offensive line, unproven running backs, bad play caller. So it's a very similar situation, and the Jets weren't able to put up points last year with Aaron Rodgers. And in this game against the Seahawks, this is a defense that kind of can do everything you want to do against the Pittsburgh Steelers. You can get to the quarterback. Last year, they were in the top 5 in terms of sacks. A year ago, they pressured the quarterback really, really well. And they have the corners, not just in terms of talent, but depth. They have like 3 or 4 corners that they can throw out there and feel comfortable in coverage to cover the one receiver anyone's really worried about in Pittsburgh with DK Metcalf. So I think that this Seattle defense is built to give this Steelers offense some issues. And then I think the Steelers offense is naturally flawed anyway. So I think 27 points is way too much in this game, in my opinion. I do have the Steelers winning, because I think the Steelers defense is too much for Sam Darnold. Like I think we're going to see Sam Darnold really come back down to earth this season. I think he's going to struggle more than people think he will. And I think this is going to be one of those tough games for him. I have it. It's another ugly one. I have it like 17-13. Like it's going to be an ugly game. No one's going to really have fun watching it unless you're an old school football fan. I think it's going to be an ugly, ugly football game.
Yeah, this is a really interesting game, man, because Sam Darnold, I feel like we're kind of guessing, and you know that I lean towards you in this one. You know I'm leaning towards a downfall. I told you when he was – Sam Darnold's either going to be a Steeler or a Seahawk. I was like, Lord, if you're listening, do not let him be a Steeler. That's all I can freaking ask you. Mason Rudolph, let's rock, brother. I don't even give a damn. I don't want that guy to have all this damn money. So,
I'm with you on that.
Right, dude? It was so scary. So – When this whole thing goes down, I do think that maybe there's a little bit of like Sam Darnold that wants to like prove it. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you should have got me, or like maybe that's here, but he should be happy in Seattle, honestly. But anyway, I feel like this is a good game for the Steelers. However, I do think it's a pretty close one, to be honest with you. I'm going to go 23-20 in this one. I'm going to meet you guys kind of right in the middle. I do think Chris Boswell, once again, won't shock me 2 weeks in a row. If he's kind of more of the hero, staying busy, 2, 3, 4 field goals a game, that's going to be a thing this year. So I like it. I do think Sam Darnold might touch the ball, might get up to 20 points if I'm being generous. But I think at that point, Steelers, if they touch the ball last, or if they're on defense last, I think they're going to win this game. So I feel pretty good in that. And Mike McDonald runs a good defense, but doesn't run a good enough defense yet for me to say Aaron Rodgers can't go down and get into field goal range with 2 minutes. I'm just not there yet. So Mason Rudolph, maybe not. Russell Wilson, maybe not. Aaron Rodgers, Bryson, he can do it. So thank God. We almost got a quarterback, so I'm looking forward to that. But 2-0 across the board for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Bryson, who would have thought? Not me. Not me. But anyway, here we go. Looking at week number 3. It's a tough game right here. And now it was a lot more fun to watch this game, in 2013. little bit more fun to watch this game, but I'll take it here. Sunday, September 21st on CBS, 1 p.m. Eastern time at the New England Patriots against Drake May. Bryson, you have been very open, as well as myself, about liking the Patriots this year, saying that the people are wrong. They're going to be a pretty decent football team, potentially make a playoff push late in the season. We'll see, but this is a big game right here for Drake May. Do you think he hands the Steelers their first loss?
I do. I'm really impressed with the New England Patriots. And looking at what they did last year in terms of their defense, that's going to be what I really focus on with this matchup in particular, is last year the Patriots had an above average defense to pretty good in some areas. Like they were 10th in the NFL in terms of passing defense. They did a decent job of getting to the quarterback. They weren't great at it, but they were solid at getting to the quarterback. They were good at causing turnovers. And then what they did this offseason was they went out and got Mike Vrabel at head coach, who always led top 10 defenses in Tennessee. And they've spent a lot of money on free agency shoring up that defense. So I think this is going to be a better defense than what we saw last year with New England. And it was already a pretty good defense. And they have the corner and Christian Gonzalez to go one-on-one with DK Metcalf all game. I don't think the Steelers have the weapons outside of DK. Maybe if Pat Freiermuth has a big game, but outside of that, I don't think they have the weapons to exploit a lot of this Patriots defense. And it being in New England as well, I think this is going to be a tough place for the Steelers here. So I'm going to give them their first loss. I think this is a big win, a statement type of win for a young, up-and-coming Patriots team.
Fair. Seth, how you feeling about that, man?
I will agree up until the point that the Steelers lose this game. I agree that the New England Patriots on defense have made valuable moves and looked like they were starting to figure it out. And adding Mike Vrabel, like you said, is a great hire, and he's going to get everything that he needs out of his defense. But I just think that the Steelers are going to have another tough it out, grind it out game. The season in all is definitely going to be tough it out, grind it out, no matter where you turn. And I was looking at last year that they averaged 22 points, 22.4 points during the season last year. So for my last point saying that they were going to score up to 27, I think that's our ceiling with adding Aaron Rodgers to give us that next bump. We don't need a whole lot. We just need
23 and a half will get it done. If you can average it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'll be all right.
So I'm with you on us making that jump on the offensive side of the ball. And I'm also looking at Drake May with Stephon Diggs as well. They made that key free agent pickup for New England. So I'm really looking at if Drake May can really handle the Pittsburgh Steelers defense at the end of the day, because we know we're going to be able to come and play.
Well, first of all, we're obviously doing this show banking on the fact that TJ Watt is still a Pittsburgh Steeler. Now, he is in trade talks that there is a crazy world in which, he potentially could get moved, and, the Lions, for example, the Eagles could say, we'll give you a first, a second, a 2027 second, and a corner for him, right? So maybe that changes things, but if it doesn't change things, which I don't think it does, Drake May is going to get eaten in this game. And now I do think he has his moments. Like you said, Stephon Diggs, at least it gives you more of a quick guy, get the ball out a little bit quicker, early releases. They have decent tight ends there in New England. So I think he can get the ball out. I just think it's going to be a lot more chunk change kind of plays. I think it's going to be a little 8 yards here, a little 2 yards here, a little 4 yards here, and then maybe 14 yards. And he's going to have to earn it. Drake May is going to have to lead 10 to 14 play drives again and again and again in this game. The question is, how much can Aaron Rodgers and the offense do against this defense? Because if they can put up, honestly, Seth, we keep saying 23 to 24 points-ish on average. So if they can average, even get to, I think 24 points wins this game. I really do, for either side. I think if you get to 24 here, you'll probably win. We're looking at a 24-20, 24-23 kind of game. So all that said, I agree with you, Bryson. I see the Patriots. I get it. But the Patriots currently are favored in this game. I'm not taking the Patriots as a favorite against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm just not going to do it. I think it's a close one. I think it's the best game so far of the season between their three. I'm going to go with a very close one. Like I said, I'm going 24-23. Shout out to my dog, Chris Boswell for the third week in a row. The Steelers MVP getting it done here from deep on the road. I'm going to go just for fun. I'm going 52-yarder. Give me the right hash for the win here.
Right.
So should be fun. 3-0 for Seth and I, 2-1 for Bryson. Steelers, though, hey, playing good football to start the year. Kind of reminds me of 2024, but we don't have to talk about that.
I won't be surprised if all that happens. Like, Boswell will definitely have at least 5 game winners.
Dude, he's going to have a lot of game winners. But here you go. Now things get interesting. A week later, week 4 against the Minnesota Vikings. Nobody's at home. 9:30 a.m. The Ireland game is going down. This is going to be a fun one. This really comes down to which team's going to travel better here. Bryson, the one thing I'm going to throw out there is we're assuming it's J.J. McCarthy. And is it fair to say on the road in a game like that in front of all these different fans in a different country, is it fair to say that this favors the veteran quarterback in this game?
Maybe to a certain point. I think actually what this does is it might favor the younger team, the less veteran team, because it's a long flight, long ways away from your family. It's a massive layover. A lot of times with these overseas games, the younger team, there's a reason why the Jaguars all these years tend to play better in London than they did in their home stadium. The young blood does tend to travel better in these type of situations. And the Steelers team, it's old. It's an old Steelers team. You've got Aaron.
Watch him out,
Darius Slay.
Calm down.
I'm just telling you the truth. You guys are old. Your top 2 corners are both 34 years old.
Damn.
Your starting quarterback is 40. Your best edge rusher's 30 and constantly hurt at this point in his career. I don't think the Steelers are going to travel well in this situation. And the Minnesota Vikings, I just mentioned earlier how bad Pittsburgh was against the blitz last year, protecting. And last year, Aaron Rodgers was really bad against the blitz. And they're playing a Vikings team who blitzes more than anyone in the NFL. I think they're going to get to Aaron Rodgers a lot in this game. It's going to be another ugly one. I think the younger, more innovative kind of forward-thinking team like the Vikings are going to travel better for this one. I have the Vikings winning this. I think they're going to shock everyone with a win against the Steelers.
I mean, look, it's a good time if you're the Vikings to pull one out here and kind of sneak one by, like you're mentioning. If you remember, Bryson, last year, your boy Russell, was it last year or 2 years as a Bronco? Remember when Russell Wilson was
2 years ago, yeah,
doing his little burpees on the plane and doing all this stuff, and everyone was like, "Yeah, old man over here can't sit down for this long." So so
I would have told him to sit his butt down.
Maybe you're right. Maybe there's something to it. But I smell hater. Seth, do you smell hater? I smell hater. Talking about the age of our guys over here. So Seth, how we feeling? Man?
You guys are literally old. You guys have, I think, one of the oldest defenses in football this season.
It's okay.
Hey, but one of the top defenses at that, though.
Bryson, if you guys are good enough to get to the playoffs, we'll see you there. I'm looking forward to it. But Seth, my man, how you feeling about this game?
Sadly, I think this one is a loss for us. We get humbled going across the pond. I'm hype on the Vikings this year. I'm hype on J.J. McCarthy. I think he's about to have he's going to have a great rookie year. Or technically, it's his second year, but this is really his rookie year getting the start. But I think we fall short. I do feel like who's it? J.J. McCarthy and Justin Jefferson. They both have a good game. I don't want to say bombs over Baghdad, but I definitely feel like they're going to run up the score on us. I'm seeing this one get out of hand, or not early, but at least in the mid-third quarter-ish, and the Vikings pull this out.
I get it. I see it. I'm somebody who I always take the Jags when they go across the seas. There's certain teams that play well across the way, but I don't think Mike Tomlin's going to let this game slip right here. I think this is a business trip. If you've watched any of the Hard Knocks or anything like that, bro's still old school, and for better or for worse, he runs his team a certain way, and you can agree with it, disagree with it, but he does it a certain way. Now, Bryson, you and I have both agreed many times that we do believe O'Connell is another top 4 coach in all of the NFL, right? So I'm not saying Mike Tomlin's just a way better coach or anything. It's just a culture thing. I think he's going to have his guys ready to go here. And at this point, I have them coming in 3-0, playing great football. They're the veteran team on the road. I think this is a big-time win for Pittsburgh. I'm going to go against you guys here. I just think that everything's going right. Steelers shocking a lot of people. The media starting to say, oh, my God, are the Pittsburgh Steelers a Super Bowl team? Is Aaron Rodgers the guy? Right? All the idiots, all the pundits of the world are going to come flocking out after they talk all that shit preseason. But I think this is a big win here. So I'm going to go Steelers. You guys are going to go against me here. So 4-0 for me, 3-1 for Seth, and 2-2 for Mr. Bryson Owens. We're starting to get some variation here, some variance, if you would. Then, yeah, what's up?
I was going to also add that the Vikings are undefeated when playing overseas as well. They have not lost any games yet. So
till 2025, all streaks coming to an end. But I'm right there with you. I'm feeling it. Hey, I like the stat though. It's a good stat for the people. Now you get a bye week here in week number 5. Obviously, after going overseas. Now Bryson wants to talk shit about how old we are.
Terrible bye week.
So here's the thing. It's a horrible bye week, but if you're 3-1 or even 4-0 going into this bye week, yes, the end of the season is going to be a real test, and it's not going to be good. But this could be the perfect time early in the season to get one. You're coming back from Ireland. You're probably playing really good football. The place this is bad, Bryson, is if you're correct. If they're 2-2 or 1-3, this is not good. They have to come into here having a good lead.
I don't think the record so much or how they're playing is what factors in here. Again, I think you guys are kind of overlooking the age of some of your key players on this team. A week 5 bye week, you're going to ask, again, 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers, 34-year-old Darius Slay, 34-year-old Jalen Ramsey, 30-year-old TJ Watt. You're going to ask these guys to play 12 straight games. There's not a chance in the world all 4 of those key guys are healthy for all 12 games. Those guys are going to miss time because that's
we're not there yet.
We only need them for like 6 of them. Just get us halfway. You guys are going to need them
for 6. Look, bro, if we're in the playoff picture with 3 weeks to go and we secure it and we're not going to lock it up, they could sit for 2 weeks. Exactly. They could get 2 weeks.
Not the AFC. You guys are going to need them for all 12 games.
Maybe the Broncos, but not the Steelers. But we'll get there.
You can still make the Super Bowl in the wild card spot.
That's true. Okay, really quick though. So we go on a bye week on September 28th. We play. Then you come back from Ireland. You get the bye week, and then October 12th. So 2-week rest here. You get to stay at home, which is obviously very favorable. Who knows who the quarterback's going to be? I'm going to guess it's Shedeur Sanders, but I don't know. I don't care. Genuinely, as a Steelers fan and a major Shedeur Sanders fan, I hope it's not Shedeur because I want to whoop their ass. And I want to see, I hope it's little Dylan Gabriel getting his one game. That'd be awesome. But anyway here, this game is a Steelers win. I'm not going to go too far into depth here. Is it going to be a good game? Sure. But they traded away Nick Chubb. And if there's one guy who has punished the Steelers every time they play, it has been Nick Chubb. You take Chubb off the field, I don't really see the danger here. You play him twice a year. You know how to beat him. I don't think they have the quarterback situation figured out. I think things are already going off the rails here in Cleveland. If it is one of the rookies, I don't think it's a rookie who has been starting for 5 games at this point. So I don't know. I'm going to say Steelers here. Coming off the bye week, I got 5-0. Call me crazy, Mr. Owens, but what are you looking at?
I think you're showing your fandom a little hard with them.
I don't think I am. Look at these games, bro.
Hey.
I think 5-0 is a bit of a stretch. I do have them beating Cleveland here. Again, I think Cleveland's going to be in that contention for the worst team in football again this season. It doesn't really matter who the quarterback is. I just don't think they have the talent to compete with a lot of these teams, especially offensively. The only hope Cleveland has at winning this game is if Myles Garrett has a 4-sack outing. Like if Myles Garrett can just completely wreck the game by himself, which he can do. I just don't know if it's going to happen in this one. So I'm with you. I have them beating the Browns, but I just don't think the Browns are a very good football team.
So I want to throw it out there really quick before you go, Seth, because I'm sure Bryson Owens, I'm sure some of you guys on YouTube, since you guys all smarter than the rest of us on YouTube, all you people in the comments, Jimmy Joe 742 knows more football than me. So that said here, I do want to go ahead and just put in stone. Bryson, the reason I have him 5-0, if you take a look at it, just really quickly, think about this. You're against Justin Fields. Just in your mind, go. You got Steelers. Sam Darnold at home. You got the Steelers. Drake May, fine, 50-50, but that's not crazy to say Steelers. Then you play J.J. McCarthy across the seas. I still don't think it's crazy. Then you come off a bye week with a break at home, and you get the Browns. Like, I think 5-0 is actually very doable. I'm
not saying you're crazy for it. I don't think the Steelers are a good enough football team to start a season 5-0. And I think there's at least one. I have 2 losses, but I think there's at least one loss to start the season, in my opinion. It's not crazy. Like, this is probably the easiest stretch of your season. But I think that they're not a good enough football team to start 5-0.
That's fair. It's just, I think when you say 5-0, I agree with you. It sounds crazy. But when you break it down one by one, it's like, well, you should win all 5 of these games. Will you? I don't know. But I think they should. So anyway, Seth, we got 2 guys going Browns here. Anyway, you're going to flip the script here and say, I know you're over there in Ohio, my man. Anyway, you're going to take the Browns here.
Absolutely no. Fuck no. Hell no.
Okay, good.
My only point I want to say to what you guys were saying, the Steelers, according to PFF, I brought this up in our last show. The Browns are the 7th ranked defensive line that the state or in the league. So they're only playing one top tier defensive line so far yet. So 5-0, technically, I'm with you, Riggs. It's not too far fetched. They're not really playing any defensive lines that are going to give them trouble trying to protect.
It's coming. Yeah,
it's coming, but not yet. But
yep.
I definitely feel like the Steelers got this one. I think they're going to sweep the Browns. I'm even going to go out on a limb and say Jaylen Warren is going to have a breakout game, and I will put $20 and 35 cents on him going over 100 yards for 2 touchdowns.
$20.35. Y'all heard it here first, bro. So
I don't know what the payout is, but I got it.
I don't either. But Bryson Owens, my man, this is where you are going to potentially hate me if I go against you on this one, because we got the Steelers on a short week, 4 days later, on the road in Cincinnati, playing your boy Joe Burrow, who's another quarterback that I gave a lot of shit to last year and said, I'm getting tired of the stat padding. I'm getting tired of him being down all the time, throwing, scoring these 4th quarter touchdowns, making the stats look so great, blah, blah, blah. You don't win. I don't care. That was kind of my theory last year. So I'm going to let you take this one first, my man. At the Cincinnati Bengals, no defense for the Bengals. Yep. Who takes this one?
So I think they split the season series against the Bengals, largely because, like you said, there isn't a defense in Cincinnati, but I don't believe in this Pittsburgh offense to exploit a lot of these, even these weaker defenses. I don't think they're talented enough offensively to exploit everyone. And I do think eventually the Bengals are going to figure out something with Trey Hendrickson and their rookie first rounder. They're going to get them figured out at some point contractually. And that's a scary pass rush duo for the Steelers offensive line to face. And I just don't think they have the offense to go toe-to-toe with Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Mike Gesicki, Chase Brown. I just don't think – I think there's going to be at least one of these 2 matchups where the Bengals put up 31-plus points. I just don't think Pittsburgh's good enough offensively to match it. It being in Cincinnati on a short week, they've just finished, the flight to Ireland bye week Cleveland Browns game. That is a division game, by the way, so I think it is going to be more physical and probably closer than a lot of people think. Division games, especially in the AFC North, always physical and close scoring. So this is a tough stretch to get the Bengals in Cincinnati. So I'm going to give the Bengals the win here. But again, I said they're going to split the season series.
Okay, so pretty much they're both going to win at home.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen with these 2 teams.
Okay,
Bryce, Seth, what are you looking at? I was about to say, I want to poke a hole in that point just real quick, because we did see the Bengals and the Steelers score over, I think they combined for at least like 60 to 80 points the first matchup last year. It was unorthodox. I'm with you on that, but we've seen that trend happen. So
sure,
I do feel like this is probably one of those games where we do get one of those performances from both teams where it's just up and down, nonstop scoring. But I will go with you and say that they are splitting the series, so it's interchangeable with how you want to look at this game. But I do want to say it's in there. We're good for one game. We're scoring over 30 points. We're good for one.
I think the biggest difference to go with that is the offense for Pittsburgh did move the ball pretty well with Russell Wilson at quarterback, and I believe that's the game you're talking about with Russ against the Bengals. The Jets offense, I just mentioned earlier, the Jets offense didn't average 20 points per game with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback, and he didn't throw – I think the last time Aaron Rodgers threw for over 300 yards in a football game was back in 2022, I want to say, his second to last season in Green Bay. Like, it's been 2021 was the second to last season in Green Bay. I think that was the last time he threw for over 300 yards in a football game. That's 2 full seasons, and then obviously the 1 year he missed because of the torn Achilles. That's 2 full football seasons. He hasn't thrown for over 300 yards. I just don't know if Aaron Rodgers is good enough to exploit bad defenses anymore.
I mean, I wouldn't go that far because it's still a mental game. He's still able to carve up defenses and make the audible changes when necessary. I'm with you with the body. I'm with you. I still think he is. I mean, the IQ doesn't go away.
Bryson, look, man, I know he's doing a lot of drugs, bro, but he ain't forgetting how to read defense, bro.
He hasn't done it for 2 seasons. I just mentioned he hasn't thrown for 300 yards in 2 full seasons. You're just gonna ignore.
Are you counting one of the seasons where his leg didn't work because he was on the sideline? Are you counting that season?
I'm counting the season before that in Green Bay. He didn't.
Okay, but can you really watch this guy play? Do you really watch him play and say you genuinely don't think that his audibles are right and his vision's right and he's not making the right moves pre-snap? You really think that?
I do. I watched him. Go back and watch his last season in Green Bay. He wasn't good in Green Bay his last season, and then he wasn't good last year. Like, I don't know.
He was fed up with Green Bay.
I do think he was fed up with Green Bay, and I do think
being an MVP.
Well. So at this point, I'm going to say you guys are both on the Bengals in this game. You guys are both saying we split it. If you're going to give the Bengals an easy one, I think you got to give them this one. I mean, I don't see why you'd give them the next one. So that said, though, I got these boys 5-0, walking up in here trying to make it 6-0. Bryson, look, brother, I'm finally going to go with you on this one. And that's only because I don't believe that this is going to go well. I remember last year we had to watch now it was tougher games in my opinion, but they played it was like 3 games in 10 days last year or 12 days, remember? Yeah. And how'd that go, bro? It just wasn't good. You mentioned, Bryson, you keep bringing up age, and this is where I will say the age affects them. I don't think the first few weeks it hurts. I do think later it's going to hurt. This is the first place we see it hurt. This is going to be a rookie running back who's starting to get worn down for the first time yet on a short week. It's going to be Aaron Rodgers coming off of getting hit. Look, man, they might beat the Browns, but Myles Garrett still exists, and he's going to hit Aaron Rodgers, and he's going to be sore going into this game here on the road. Now, thank God, it's not going to be very cold outside at this point, so at least there's that. But I am going to go ahead and say Bengals here. I think it's a close game early on, but it is a game that I could see just a couple things going just weirdly wrong for Pittsburgh. A couple big plays go right for Cincinnati, and all of a sudden it becomes more of a blowout. Even though I don't think it really goes that way, I'm going to give the Bengals like a 13 to 17 point win here. Once again, I think it's a touchdown game or less at halftime. And I think Joe Burrow finds a way as things get go. We're all sitting there like, come on, Steelers, you got to make a stop here, keep it a 1-score game. And they hit Jamar Chase for 63 yards. And we're just like, well, that's it. It's over. That's it. So I could see that happening. So I'll go ahead and say 5-1. And that's predominantly also giving me insurance that they're going to be 5-1 at this point, no matter how you cut the cake. I think they're going to lose one of these games. It could be Patriots. It could be this one. It could be the Vikings. I really don't think they lose that game, but 5-1 for me. Where are we at right now? I'm 5-1. Seth, you're 4-2? Yeah, 4-2. And then Bryson? Okay.
3-3.
All right. So we're staying there. We're staying in line a little bit.
That's crazy.
I think mine's more realistic than 5-1, personally.
Oh, we're going to find out here at the end of this thing. So now at least you get a 10-day break to rest those old bones, and you stay at home here against the Green Bay Packers. But you got Jordan Love coming to town. Obviously, this guy right here. Some people are a believer. Some people are a complete hater. I'm a believer in Jordan Love. I've given him a lot of credit over the years. I also believe that Josh Jacobs is a top, call me crazy, at least, and I would argue this even deeper, top 5 running back in the NFL. I think he's going to have a really big year once again. And I just said about Nick Chubb, he was the one issue that Pittsburgh had stopping on third down. I think that kind of trends here again against Green Bay. We saw the wide receivers that they got in the draft. These guys are going to have the Steelers busy, and Aaron's going to have to find a way to score in this game. I think you're going to need at least, honestly, 27, I think, to win this football game. So that said, I won't go first. Bryson, at home, can Green Bay come on the road and steal one?
I think one thing you mentioned right there is the key factor. I think the Packers offense is going to be trouble for the Steelers team, because not only do they have Josh Jacobs, who's phenomenal, they always have a good offensive line in Green Bay. Sometimes one of the best, sometimes just solid. I think this year they're going to have just a solid offensive line, but good enough to get the job done. And then Jordan Love, who I'm not quite skeptical of Jordan Love, but I'm never going to get to the point where like every game I think Jordan Love is going to be great. I think he's going to have those stinkers every now and then. And this is a defense that can cause that, but he has weapons all over the field. Even outside of Jordan Love or outside of Josh Jacobs, he has 2 very solid tight ends. He has now 4 really solid wide receivers. I just don't think the Steelers secondary, which was an issue already for them last year, like that was their biggest weakness in the Pittsburgh defense, was you could exploit them through the air last season. And now you're going in this season with a more, I'll be nicer this time, a more veteran secondary. But now you lost one of the best ball-hawking safeties in football with Minkah Fitzpatrick. So I don't think that this Packers offense is going to slow down at all against the Steelers defense. I think that that's going to be the thing that takes them over the top. So I do have Green Bay winning this football game. I just don't think – I will say the only thing that does give me a little bit concerned for Green Bay is that secondary is really rough right now. Like that corner room scares me a little bit for Green Bay. I just don't think Pittsburgh is going to keep up with the firepower that Green Bay is going to come into this game with.
So 2 quick things. First off, what's your score prediction here? Like I said, I think 27. I think someone can get there in this game. Is that fair? Are you kind of in that realm? What are you looking at?
I think the Packers could put up 30 on pretty much any team in football. I think they have the offensive firepower to, if Jordan Love is on and not having one of those games where it's like the easy throws look so hard for him, which that happens every now and then. I think they're more than capable of putting up 30 on this team. So I would say 30-24 is my prediction for this game.
30-24 Packers in this one for you. Seth, what are you looking at, my man? Are you kind of with Bryson on there?
I'm kind of with Bryson. I will say I'm saying Aaron Rodgers is going to go 2 for 2 in 2 for 2 win his highlighted game. So every game that has like a Aaron Rodgers little soliloquy attached to it, like the Jets, the Vikings, the Bears, and the Packers, I think he's going to split those games. And I got him losing this one to the Packers, unfortunately, but he is definitely going to give us a show to be watched on TV. But I do agree. I do think the Packers are going to have a lot of firepower coming from that that wide receiver room at least. But I feel like Rodgers, it's going to be one of those highlight games where we see Rodgers do everything he possibly can because it's the former team. I just see that storyline playing out for him, but it ends up in a loss.
I mean, do y'all remember how pissed off this dude was when they brought in Jordan Love? Something tells me he wants this one bad. Now, that said here, we all pretty much just took the Bengals because the Steelers had a 4-day rest on the road. Now they have a 10-day rest at home. So now the script has flipped. I honestly, in Green Bay, I'm with you. On a regular week, I think I'm still with you. I'm leaning towards the Steelers here in a super tight 1 to 3 point game. I think if Green Bay plays their best game, they win this game. So I'm kind of leaning. I don't even know, bro. I'm like trying to decide as we're sitting here because I agree with you, Bryson, that 30 points, Jordan Love through the air, going to have some fun here, going to have options, going to keep the chains moving, going to tire out the defense. Those are all huge factors here for the Packers in their favor. But on the other side, I think you got a motivated Aaron Rodgers. You got a rested up Aaron Rodgers. You got a team coming off a loss to a division foe who I think they're pissed off about. So this is a really tough one for me to call. I'm going to stay on my high horse here. Barely, Bryson. I'm sorry. I'm going to go with Chris Boswell at home in this one. I'm going to go another one, dog. Another one. DJ Khaled. What is it? Another one. So all that's
Another one.
I'm going to say 27-21. I think Jordan Love has a chance here at the end of this game. And they might win 28-27, but I'm going to say 27-21. The Steelers hold them off at home here. So going to be a tight one. It's so lovely that Bryson used the word veteran. So kids, take that from school. If you don't learn anything else in school, the difference in old and veteran is two completely different meanings, and it's the same thing. So this veteran defense is going to step up late in this one and get it done. If I said old defense, you guys would all be like, I'm taking the Packers. So anyway, there you go, folks. Any other thoughts here on Jordan Love and the Packers before we get on through to the later half of the season?
I'm good.
I forgot to give my score prediction real quick.
Yeah.
Score prediction, I'm with you on the 27. I think 27 gets it done. I'll go Packers 20, 27, Steelers 20. I'll make it a one-score game.
Okay. So another good football game here, man. I'm looking forward to this one. It should be fun. It's a Sunday night football game. So it's going to be a fun one here in Pittsburgh. But then a week later, you're still at home. Bryson, the best quarterback in the NFL, the most slept on, greatest athlete to ever walk earth, is coming to town. Anthony Richardson is in the building. The floor is yours. Are the Steelers going to let this guy run in for 4 touchdowns, 400 through the air, and he's going to show why he's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time?
So first, I don't think it is Anthony Richardson. I think Daniel Jones is going to be the starting quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts this year. Even with that, I think the Colts are going to have potential to be a good team. I don't think they're going to be great. That division's not good. Like, they could just luck into winning 7 to 8 football games with Daniel Jones as their quarterback. This isn't one of those games they can luck into winning. Going into Pittsburgh, I do think the Colts defense is going to be good this year. Like, I like the additions they made in the offseason. That's going to be something to keep an eye on for this matchup specifically. I just don't think this offense is going to be good enough. Like, Jonathan Taylor's really good. The offensive line for Indianapolis is solid, not great. I do like the weapons that whoever the quarterback is going to be. When you talk about Michael Pittman, or you talk about Downs, you talk about Tyler Warren, their rookie tight end. I think they're going to be, if nothing else, interesting offensively. I don't know if it's going to be great offensively, and I don't think it's going to be good enough on the road in Pittsburgh to win the football game. So I'm going to give the Steelers the win against Daniel Jones, not Anthony Richardson.
And just to be clear, if it's Anthony Richardson, you think this is a beatdown, right?
Oh, yeah. I think Daniel Jones is at least smart enough to make the easy plays easy. I don't think he's good enough to make the big plays you need to win games like this. But I think he's a smart enough quarterback to make the easy things look easy. I don't think Anthony Richardson is smart enough to make the easy things look easy. I think he makes the easy things look like the most difficult play anyone's ever seen. And I think Daniel Jones can at least execute an offense to a basic enough level to be competent. I just don't think that's good enough on the road in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. And I just want to clarify really quickly for all you folks that are either new to our page or whatever it may be. It was a complete joke about Anthony Richardson. No, I don't think the guy's the greatest quarterback. No, I don't think he would throw for 400 yards probably ever in his life. And no, he will not run for 4 touchdowns. We are massive haters, AKA realists of Anthony Richardson over here at the Sports Forum. And we are in full agreement that if this guy is a starting quarterback in the NFL, you could probably say he's about the 38th best quarterback in the NFL, even if he's a starter. So all that said here, Seth, we're talking Daniel Jones now. Can he come on the road here, use his legs a little bit, maybe find a way to squeak one out here and steal one from Pittsburgh?
I say no. I definitely agree that he will definitely be the starter by this time. I don't think Anthony Richardson is ready. He's just been able to show that he still needs a lot more development. So I think Danny Dimes wins the job by this time. But I do have the Steelers getting a W. I have them beating the Colts. See, I think all our games this year are going to be ugly. Like, we are not, like I said, we're going to have that one game where we score 30 points, but everything else is going to be 16, 17 to 24 points. But I'll go 24. I'll do 24.
Okay.
17. 24-17 Steelers.
All right. I'm not going to waste much time here. I think they have their moments. I think JT might go ahead and find his way into the end zone once, like Bryson mentioned. And outside of that, this game doesn't really matter. And even if it's partially close early, I think the Steelers can play about a 7 out of 10 football game and win this game here, honestly, almost comfortably. So I'm going to go ahead and go 24-13 here, being generous for the Indianapolis Colts. So that said, take the under, folks. If it's going to be 42.5, take the under in this one here. Should be fun. But moving on through here, gentlemen, things are starting to get good for Pittsburgh. Bryson, that veteranism is going to start to show in this Pittsburgh Steelers team as things get going. And now, obviously, moving on through, let me go ahead and move so you guys can all, see what we got going on here. We are right here, folks, on the road, week number 10, Sunday, November 9th. Another Sunday night football game. You guys take a look here. One Sunday night game here, Thursday night game here, Sunday night game here. 3 prime times in 4 weeks. Bryson, I'm sorry, my man, but you're going to not get rid of me anytime soon talking about shit. So that said here, on the road, Seth, you might not know this about me, but Bryson does. I am far from a believer in Justin Herbert. I love Harbaugh. I think they have some great weapons in LA, but I think he is one of the least clutch quarterbacks to ever touch a football in his life that gets this much hype with this much delivery. So all that said here, this is an improved LA team, no doubt about it. Do you think this is a tough game here for Pittsburgh?
I do believe it is a tough game. I am a Justin Herbert believer, but I do think the Steelers will squeak one out again. Granted, we kind of missed out on what that game could potentially be last year when Justin Herbert went down. But I think this year we will definitely get a chance to see why Herbert has the ability to do what he can when it comes to throwing the ball. Quentin Johnson is down there somewhere, so I know he's going to be able to throw the ball to him. But all in all, I do think the Steelers get this W. It's another close game. Like I said, it's going to be a brutal season. The defense is definitely going to be carrying us like they always are. But I do think Aaron Rodgers comes in with a late score. I will go 24 to 17. 24 to 17 again.
Bryson, I don't think you're going to like that prediction, my man.
I don't think it's a terrible prediction. I just think that the Chargers are a better team, I think, overall. Like, I get that maybe you're not the biggest Justin Herbert believer, but what Harbaugh did last year coming into LA and instantly turning them from a pretty poorly coached, undisciplined, kind of a mess of a team to really one of the most button up and prepared teams in football, specifically on the defensive end. Like, he came in, and the year before Harbaugh came in, they were a bottom 5 defense in pretty much every category. Harbaugh comes in, instantly a top 10 defense, and really probably closer to a top 5 defense than a top 10 defense. Like, they were really good defensively last year. I think that I think he limited Herbert a little bit last season because it was his first year coaching him. And Herbert really, in all reality, is the most talented quarterback Harbaugh's ever coached, in my opinion. I mean, you talk about who else is he competing with? Alex Smith, Colin Kaepernick, JJ McCarthy. Like, Herbert's talent level is above.
I was about to say JJ McCarthy.
I don't think it's saying much, though, Bryson. Bryson, to be fair, I don't think that's saying much.
I think Herbert, is more talented than you guys are letting on. his like second year in the NFL threw for like 5,000 yards and 40 touchdowns. Like he's a good quarterback. They have a really good defense. I think they simplified things so much offensively where it's an easier offense for him to run. They got better at running the football this offseason, getting Najee Harris and Omarion Hampton to run the football this year as opposed to J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards last year. Like that's an upgrade. I think that, and going from the East Coast to the West Coast, real tough, again, especially for an older football team like the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think this is an LA Chargers win. I think they are a really good football team. And that's saying something coming from a Broncos fan. I think the Chargers are going to give people issues this season.
I agree with you on the fact that I think they're going to give people problems. And like I mentioned, I think they're a better football team than they were prior. But you just talked about how good this defense was. Justin Herbert actually had like a decent year. If you look at the stats, he was like 20. He had like 23 touchdowns, 3 picks, like over 100 passer rating. Like, but where's the shit to show for it, bro? But where's the stuff to show for it, Bryson? There's no fucking results. He's terrible when it comes to clutching up and winning a football game. Like, yeah, he moves well. Yeah, he has a good arm. Yeah, he looks pretty when he throws the ball, but he doesn't win. And so I struggle to take him because, sure, if he was my fantasy quarterback, sure. I mean, every other week I'm probably happy with his delivery. But if I'm betting on him on the money line on DraftKings, he's pissing me off, dog. Like, I just don't like Justin Herbert. I don't like him against defenses that pressure him a lot. And at the end of the day, I have to trust that Justin Herbert is going to perform with the game on the line. The defense, sure, if Aaron Rodgers has the ball with 65 seconds and he has to drive down and score, the Steelers will lose the game. But if you flip the script and say the same situation, Herbert ain't scoring either, dog. If anything, he's pick sixing and the Steelers are winning the game. Like, I don't trust the guy. So that's the only reason why I'm kind of 50-50 right here in this game. I think it's a tough game. It's a really tough game on the road. It's under the bright lights once again for the third time in 4 weeks. That's exhausting on a football team. Now, I will say, looking at the schedule, I did just take them to beat Green Bay. And I think that game is 50-50. So I'm going to give this one to LA. But folks, bet your ass I'm taking all the points, all the money line, first half money line, first quarter money line, full game money line. I'm all over the Steelers in this game. But for this purpose, I will take the Chargers because, in my opinion, they don't have an excuse to lose this one. I just don't. I think this is the game that Herbert, you can't lose, bro. If you're even halfway serious about going on a run or anything like that, you got to win games like this, bro, against old football team.
Can I, to counter your point about Herbert losing football games late, Aaron Rodgers has been the exact same lately. Like I'm
not talking about Aaron Rodgers. Don't do that. No,
I'll do that. I'm just saying, if you're going to say the same thing about Justin Herbert, I can say the same thing about Aaron Rodgers. His last 2 years
Justin Herbert's a 27-year-old kid in his prime who's been on a team for years.
In Aaron Rodgers' last – hold on. In Aaron Rodgers' last 2 seasons playing football, 5-12, 8-9, and I believe he had 4 chances last year to go on game-winning drives and threw a pick in all 4 of them. Like, Aaron Rodgers hasn't been good at closing football games either. So if you're going to say that about Herbert, I can say the same thing about Aaron Rodgers, and I think the Chargers are a better football team around Herbert than the Steelers are. That's what I'll say about
this is Aaron Rodgers. Just so we're clear, this is Aaron Rodgers on a Packers team, right, that he was already having issues with anyway. So he's on a Packers team, and you're saying he struggles to score late. Then he goes to the Jets, sits out for a year, and then he struggles to score late with a shitty team, firing their head coach, out of the wheels falling off with Nathaniel Hackett, who of all people, Bryson, you should have known that those dudes suck, okay? And then finally, now he's a Pittsburgh Steeler. You can't compare that to a guy on a team for 5-6 years who's been the guy at the helm, young, in his prime, way more weapons than Aaron had on either of those teams you're talking about. And now you're going to compare the two. You can say what you want, bro. You can say what you want, bro. If you're going to sit here and tell me that you think Justin Herbert is a clutch quarterback, you're lying to yourself. He's not.
I'm not saying Herbert's a clutch quarterback. I'm just saying Aaron Rodgers isn't clutch anymore either. And I want to officially
I
want to
told you
officially
really quick.
dispute the
I
Packers
said
thing.
if Aaron is driving late in that game, he doesn't win. I admitted that. I'm just saying I don't trust Herbert.
I want to officially dispute this whole Aaron Rodgers, his last season in Green Bay thing. Literally the year before that, he won the MVP and they went 13-3. And now all of a sudden you're going to say, oh, he had issues with Matt LaFleur the last year. Come on. I think he just wasn't good in Green Bay. I just don't think he's very good anymore. That's my thing on Aaron Rodgers. I just don't think he's very good anymore.
Fair?
That's
Seth,
fair.
what you got,
I just want to. I was about to say that's fair. That's fair. But I also want to point, like, Bryson, you were just talking about how Justin Herbert went for all those yards, or reading off his stats in his second year, correct?
Yeah.
My only thing is, when did those numbers start to elevate? I can promise you he was being put in situations where he had to win the game, and so he had to do extra. So although I feel like those stats were probably padded a little bit and not being truthful in what was going on. And I'm with you with Aaron Rodgers also being old. Like I'm hearing all of that, but I'm just taking the veteran guy that's been there, done that, Super Bowl champion. That still means something at the end of the day.
I mean, I think it would have meant something 7 years ago, or even 3. It would have meant something 3 years ago. I just don't think Aaron Rodgers is that guy anymore. I think he's. If I were to just like, if you were to ask me, where are you putting Aaron Rodgers in terms of the rankings of quarterbacks in the NFL? He's probably in the 20s. Like, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is good anymore. I think if you were to
give me the two quarterbacks, folks. You know what, folks? I hope you guys are in for a long show because fuck it, we got to finish this debate real quick. Give me two quarterbacks, Bryson, that you would put just above him.
Just above him?
Yeah. Like what's the range we're talking here?
I think he's somewhere in that.
Be careful, Bryson.
I think he's a little bit below Love.
Right, I was about to say be careful.
I think he's a little bit below Jordan Love, and you know I'm not the biggest Jordan Love guy. Yeah, I think that's probably where I think he'd be somewhere around 21, 22, and someone like Jordan Love is kind of in that same. Jordan Love, Trevor Lawrence. Unfortunately, I feel bad saying Trevor Lawrence because I love Trevor Lawrence. I think at this point, Trevor Lawrence is also in that same kind of range, that late teens, early 20s type of area. So that's probably where I would surround Aaron Rodgers, is those two guys.
Okay. Well, folks, we don't have time right now to do this, but before the season, as we always do, we will make a list of our top wide receivers, top running backs, top defenses. We will rate everybody as we always do. We also do our power rankings every single week. So we'll have all that stuff for you guys this year as the year goes on. But one list we will drop is quarterbacks 1 through 32, and we'll add a spot 38 for Anthony Richardson for you guys. And we'll break down all of the top quarterbacks in the listing. And Bryson, I will say, all jokes aside, shit talk aside, I think when you start breaking this list down, I think you're going to find him in that 18-19 category. For you personally, I think so. Sure. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. But I don't think he's in. Ooh. Okay. Another conversation. That's fair. I mean, it's hard because I like Jordan Love and I like Kyler Murray and I like Trevor Lawrence. And those are guys that I probably have above you. So for me to say that he's behind them, it's kind of like, okay, maybe. But for you, that means he's like 26. And I don't agree with that. You know,
no, so like that far down.
He's like 18.
Fair enough.
18 to 20.
I think that's fair. I think he's earned that in itself. But anyway, fellas, we're going to rapid fire unless you guys have a hot take or something on a game. So let's go ahead and fire through here until we get towards the very end of the season. So you go on the road at LA Chargers. We all have them losing this game right here, even though they're not gonna. Everyone's going Chargers in this one. Then they're back at home against Cincinnati. We all agreed it's going to be a 1-1 split. So we'll just go ahead and say Steelers win that game. It's going down in Pittsburgh. Then they go on the road to take on Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears. You might be a believer in Caleb. You might not be. But Seth, your thoughts here. 1, do you believe in Caleb Williams? And 2, is this a win for Chicago in Chicago?
I do believe. I'm 50% on Caleb Williams. I think he'll have a better year going into this year. Ben Johnson coming in, fixing up everything, having a new array of receivers. I think he'll take that next leap in his career. but I do have the Steelers winning this game. And back to like I said, I got Aaron Rodgers winning at least two of the big headline games that he has ties to, and this is one of them.
Okay, Bryson.
Yeah, I'm a believer in Caleb Williams. I think he's going to have a much better year this year than he had last year. I think the Bears in general are going to be sneaky good this season. This one's truly 50-50 to me, especially it being in Chicago. That makes it even more 50-50. I'm going to give the win to Pittsburgh, largely because Mike Tomlin is phenomenal against rookie head coaches. Like, he doesn't lose to rookie head coaches. A lot of the great coaches in this league don't lose to rookies. Like, if you look at Andy Reid, Sean Payton, Sean McVay, and Mike Tomlin, they all have phenomenal records against rookie head coaches. So I think that's probably going to be the biggest reason I give the win to Pittsburgh in this one. But I think this is really, truly a one-score game, 50-50 coin flip type of game.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. This is a very 50-50 game, but I'm going to go Steelers here as well. I just feel like, you know me, I'm not a Caleb Williams guy, and I wasn't impressed last year. I think he panics way too much under pressure. He makes way too many mistakes. I get that there's like 3 highlights from the season where people are like, see, he is kind of good. Well, then you know what? So is Russell Wilson. So like, we're not playing that game. Anthony Richardson probably has 3 highlight passes, 2 deep balls and a run. That's his highlight film. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and go Steelers here. I just think at this point, we're talking about 2 different teams. Bryson, you mentioned it. The age is going to start to accumulate. And I think this is one of those last few regular season wins that I think is a winnable game against a pretty good team. So I'm going to go ahead and go Steelers here. I think it's close, but I'm going to go in the realm of like 24-20. I think it's a close game, but Steelers find a way to get this one done. Then we go here. Buffalo comes to town Sunday, November 30th. 4:25 p.m. CBS in that midday window. I'm painfully going to go first. I'm just going to say Bills here really quickly. Bryson, as a Bronco fan, it was you last year, and the year before that, it was us. This team is good at football. I'm a Josh Allen guy. I get it. It's not in Buffalo. That helps a lot. But this is a game where I think the Steelers like low-key hang, and we're like, whoa, they got a chance here. And then I think Buffalo find a way. I'm going to go Buffalo 35-24 in this one. I think they just kind of pulled away at the right times here. So give me Buffalo here. Seth, where are you going?
Sadly, I got Buffalo too, but I think it's going to be on the more kind of sad side. I think they're going to take us behind the stadium and put us in the locker real quick. So I got them opening up at least a 30-point game up on us, at least.
Bryson, 30-point game. Is that what we're talking about here?
Yeah, I have Buffalo winning as well. I'm kind of more on your trend there, Riggs, where I think that it's going to be a game for about 2.5 quarters. And I think middle of the third quarter, either a Josh Allen rushing touchdown or an Aaron Rodgers interception. There's going to be some play that kind of flips the script. Like, it could be 17-17. Tied ball game, real close, and one play in the middle of the third quarter changes everything, and Buffalo runs away with it. So I would probably lean towards a kind of close to what you did, 31-20 type of win for Buffalo.
Okay, fair enough. So Buffalo sweep over here for the fellas. Steelers going down at Heinz Field, not Acrisure for all you folks out there. But then we are now on the road Sunday, December 7th. You go from Buffalo. Now you got Baltimore, and you're on the road in Baltimore. Look, I am not the right guy to go first on this one here. Bryson, I think it's only fair you go first on this one, but I will say Week 14 is the first time that the Steelers and the Ravens play, and then they also obviously play again in Week 18, which that one could or could not matter. But you got to go on the road here after Buffalo. Bryson, at least tell me we're splitting.
I'll wait until we get to Week 18 to get my answer there. But I think they lose to Baltimore. I think this is going to be one of those games. The Bills game and the Baltimore game. You mentioned earlier, Riggs, when we were talking about the Bears game, where you kind of see the age start to pop up for Pittsburgh. I think these last 2 weeks is going to be when that age really starts to pop up, because I think they're going to be playing against 2 of the most, if not the 2 most athletic quarterbacks in football. Like Lamar Jackson in an open field with Darius Slay or Jalen Ramsey trying to stop him, it's lights out. Lamar's scoring. Like, I just don't think – I know Lamar tends to struggle against Pittsburgh. I think he got over that a little bit last year. I think Lamar got over a little bit of his weird trends he has in his career. I think he got over those a little bit last season. But I think the biggest reason I'm taking Baltimore is that defense went from one of the worst defenses in the NFL to start last season to the second half of the year they were phenomenal. And then they got better in this offseason. I think this Baltimore defense is going to be phenomenal again this year. I think it's going to be too much for Pittsburgh to handle on the road. I'm going to give Baltimore the win here in Week 14.
Where are you going with here, Seth? One for the boys?
It hurts. It hurts me. I'm the believer of we're going to split the series, but this one we are not going to win. I definitely have the Ravens winning this one. I think it's another hard game to come back from. With coming from playing the Bills, I think it's just another tough team that we have to face, and we do not get it done.
Yeah, I love my Pittsburgh Steelers, but at some point, man, it's going to have to start hurting a little bit too much, and I think this is where it starts hurting. So I'm going to go with you guys here. I do think that Lamar Jackson gets this one done, but I'm daddy of the Baltimore Ravens for many, many, many years to come so far, and it continues. And even the years that they're picked to murder us, they don't. Yes, they have their moments, they have their games, but I think it's going to be really good. But I'll go ahead and take Baltimore here in a late one once again. But I'll tell you what, no more Justin Tucker. I could see a late field goal. Ravens for the win, 23-yard chip shot. Oh, my God. It's a boinker, and the Steelers win. So I don't know. We'll see what happens here, but all going to rock with the Ravens here in this one. Then Monday, December 15th, you are at home. You got Tua, who knows if he'll be still walking at this point in the season. This Miami team, Bryson, you and I kind of alluded to it on one of the previous shows. We think this team is an absolute dumpster fire by this point in the season. The coaching, Mike McDaniel, he could be out of there. Tua might not be starting. Tyreek Hill's going to be probably in cell block C, locked up somewhere. I don't know where this team's going to be in Week 15, but I don't think it's going to be winning football games on the road in Pittsburgh in December. So y'all can say what you want, but this is easy money for me for the Steelers. Maybe it's a decent game, but I think this is one of the few ones the Steelers put the pedal down. I'm going to go Steelers 31-14 in this game. Bryson, what you got?
I think this is going to be an easy Steelers win. I don't think they're going to put up that many points on them. But I think you mentioned there, Riggs, I think is the biggest key here. Even if it is Tua playing in this game, it's in Pittsburgh in December. It's going to be cold. It's going to be wet. It's going to be awful conditions the entire time against a really good Pittsburgh defense. I think the Steelers could win by 20 points by scoring 23. That's the type of game I'm seeing here where it's I think the Steelers are going to win this game 23-10. And it doesn't really feel like the Steelers got anything it's going to be one of those weird games where it doesn't feel like the Steelers throttled them from start to finish because it's such a low scoring game. But because the Dolphins just couldn't ever get any traction going offensively, you knew Miami was never in this game to start. So it's going to be a pretty easy Steelers win for me as well.
Seth, we making this a sweep?
Yeah, we're making a sweep. I'm in the same mindset with you guys. I'm gonna go 20-10. I do feel like it's going to be like I said, another ugly game. But 23 points gets it done. We're out of there, in and out.
Yep, in and out, baby. Eat it in your car. You know what's up. So, all right, moving on through here. Things get rough because you only got 6 days to rest after freezing your nuts off outside, and you're on the road in Detroit. So at least, thank God, you get to go play indoors to get this done before you go to Cleveland coming up next. But in this one here, you go on the road, Jared Goff and company, you got to think this is probably that time that the Lions, none of the starters are sitting. They need this game to potentially give them a 1 seed or something like that. So they should be coming full force to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers here. I will do the honors, gentlemen. I do think that they give Goff a hard time here, but it's only going to take about 2 big plays for the Lions in this game, and this is going to get real out of hand. So I'm going to go ahead and go Detroit Lions in this one. Just a bad loss. I'm going 38-17 Detroit in this one. Seth, what you got?
I'm in the same mindset as well. I think it's going to be a bad game. I will say, are we like in favor of the Lions? Like, do we see them making another playoff push like they did last year? Or are we
I will say really quickly, because I was on the Lions show, I want to say yesterday, the day before that, I was one of the only people. Yeah, Bryson, you were on it too. I was a little bit lower. I think I want to say Bryson and Ella were at like 11 or 12, right, Bryson? And I was at 10 or 11. So we said playoff team. We said definitely a playoff team, but we weren't like, oh, they're winning the NFC. We weren't like slamming that or anything like that. Bryson was talking about how that division's going to be really, really tough this year, and one or two things could not shake their way, and they might be, playing well, but not locking down a 1 seed kind of thing. So
I'm with the Lions. I definitely, I'm with the Lions. I definitely see a couple plays just opening it up, and it's hard for the Steelers to come back. So I got the Lions making 30 points on us.
Bryson, is a blowout brewing?
I don't know if it's so much a blowout, but I think you guys have mentioned a really good point for this matchup where it could really feel like it's close and the Steelers are right there. But with this Lions offense, it takes one play, and all of a sudden they could be backed up in a corner, 3rd and 8, and Goff hits Amon-Ra St. Brown over the middle for a 50-yard play, and all of a sudden they're in scoring position. The Lions have that type of potential where even in an ugly game where it just feels like they are on the cusp of losing it, they're one big play away from regaining momentum. So I think I'm going to go with the Lions as well. It being in Detroit as well is a big boost for the Lions because the Lions have one of the best home crowds in the entire National Football League. That place gets insane in Detroit there. So I'm with the Lions winning this game as well. I don't think it's a blowout, though. I think it's a good football game.
Okay. Just to explain my score really quickly, because you kind of almost explained the entire thing. I said, 38-17. I think you just explained it. It's 24-17 Lions. I think we're driving, and I think we get a pick 6 or something. Terrion Arnold, something's going to go wrong, and it's going to be boom, oh my God, touchdown. And we're like, well, we were down 7, now we're down 14. Then all of a sudden you get a big play, Amon-Ra, Laporta, a running back, 63 yards up the middle, and all of a sudden we're sitting there going, what the shit just happened? And it's a 21-point swing like that. And it was like we were right there, and now we just kind of got smacked up. And we all know as Steelers fans, when a shit starts falling off the tracks, bro, it happens quick. And it can, just turn it off. Go. You got a tea time, bro. Just go. Yeah.
And I don't want
around. We ain't coming back.
I hate to keep bringing up the age for that defense, but this is an offense that can really exploit
that
age.
We need to talk a little bit nicer about these guys' ages.
Yeah, he tried to be nice, but he's still shitting on them. I like it. I like it.
This is an offense that can really exploit the age of this cornerback room specifically. Like, they can just flat out run with Amon-Ra, with Jameson Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs out of the backfield. Like, this is a defense where, like you said, Riggs, if shit hits the fan, this line offense really knows how to exploit against every defense, but especially one where who knows how healthy this defense is going to be at this point in the year.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, there you go. We're going Detroit Lions, whether it's kind of close, whether it's a beatdown, it's a dub, and it's a loss for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So moving on through here, only a couple left before we go into our full out predictions. But now you go on the road Sunday, December. I want to say it's 29th, but let me check. It could be 28th. 28th. Week 17 at the Cleveland Browns. I mean, at this point, you got to be thinking the Steelers are having to win out 2 wins potentially to get in, or at least to comfortably get in. The Cleveland should want to lose every game at this point that they physically can. Are either of you guys going to go against the Steelers in this one and say that you're going Browns week 17?
Get the brooms, clean them up.
All right.
Yeah, especially because I don't even think Cleveland wants to win a football game at this point. Like, they have two really high draft, potentially really high draft picks with that Jaguars pick as well. I think Cleveland wants no part in winning football games at this point.
I agree. All right. And then going into week 18, once again, it depends where you guys are at this point. But Bryson, I'm going to go to you first because I'm assuming you have the least amount of wins thus far. So this very well for you could be maybe win number 9, win number 10, just trying to find a way at home. Baltimore Ravens. Is this a dub? Oh, by the way, in your prediction, there's a world. This is Aaron Rodgers' last football game if he loses.
Oh, yeah. I think this is a win for the Baltimore Ravens. I think this is the only hope, in my opinion, the Steelers have of winning this football game is if Baltimore has already locked up the division and they have no chance at the 1 seed. I think Baltimore is going to be competing for that number 1 seed at this point in the year. They need this win to take it from Buffalo, from Kansas City, whoever else is in contention for that 1 seed, and they're going to take it seriously. Lamar Jackson, I just mentioned earlier, I think he has the ability by himself to exploit pretty much every defense in the NFL. I think Baltimore's defense is going to be really good. And I've mentioned it a couple of times, Aaron Rodgers hadn't been good late in seasons the last couple of years. He's been healthy. He doesn't do well against top defenses, especially ones that can pressure him. I think this is going to be an ugly way for Aaron Rodgers to go out.
Seth?
I'm on the opposite side. Even though I'm with you, the Ravens are probably going to be sitting people by this time. The Steelers do get the W. We split and send Aaron Rodgers off. Hopefully by this game, we try and lock up that wild card spot. But yeah, we send Aaron Rodgers off with a win in his final regular season game.
Well, I'm here to tell you right now, shout out to my girl, Ashley Lowry. We ain't getting swept by no Baltimore Ravens, bro. It ain't happening. It's just not going to happen. I don't care if it's got to be a Patrick Queen scoop and score 98 yards, time expiring. I don't give a shit. We're winning this game. So I'm going to go Pittsburgh Steelers in this one. 1, because genuinely I think they need it. 2, because I think it's a split. I honestly think there's a world that they steal that first one in Baltimore. It's just a tough situation in the first time, kind of like the Bengals game. So I'm going to go ahead and say that they get this one back here. They split with the Bengals, they split with the Ravens, and they sweep the Cleveland Browns. I think we're pretty much in the realm there, other than obviously Bryson going with the 2-0 sweep for the Ravens to get things done. But all that said, gentlemen, let's go ahead and pull up.
Not that crazy. Baltimore's a better football team.
Yeah, I agree.
That's fair.
I'm just saying, the mentality of that rivalry. I don't see it. I don't see them sweeping us.
Yeah. I was just literally talking to Ashley about the whole whatever, and I told her, I said, "Hey, look, this is your year. If you guys are ever going to do anything, this is it. I don't know how much longer Harbaugh has. Truly, I don't. Lamar is in his prime. Derrick Henry, I know he's signing deals and shit. That boy body ain't going to keep doing this forever, okay?
Right.
They have a deal. Sure, they could get another wide receiver, but I don't think that they're going to get better necessarily over the next 3-4 years in that category. This is the window. So I guess, look, if they're ever going to sweep us, I guess this is it. But I don't think it's going to happen still. So that said, gentlemen, let's pull this up here. Take a look at the overall schedule. I still got to add mine up, but if any of you guys have yours, what is your finishing for the Steelers this year? Bryson, what you got?
I know you guys are going to disagree and hate that I say this. I have them finishing 8-9. I think it's an ugly way for Aaron Rodgers to go out in his NFL career. The first time that Mike Tomlin has a losing record. I don't think Pittsburgh's very good. They're not bad. That's a difference there. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is very good. I think they're going to be very well coached like normal. I think they're going to have a really good defense like normal. I tried to buy into Aaron Rodgers last year, and it didn't work, and I'm not going to do it again. I just don't think he's a very good quarterback anymore.
Seth, what you got?
I will go 10-7. You know, we're good for that mediocre kind of range of being good enough, but not good enough to win it all. So 10-7 again. But I do think we sneak in the wild card, and I think we actually might pull off a playoff win.
Well, if you really add it up, I think I'm actually at 12. But I've been talking a lot of shit I've been talking to a lot of people on shows and whatever, and I have been continuing to say 11 wins is what I think they're going to do. I think they're going to win a playoff game. Then the Aaron Rodgers is going to take them to the playoffs. I don't know how it's going to go. If you draw like Buffalo in Buffalo, it's tough. As I said last year, Bryson, you laughed at me. The whole world thought it was funny. But I told you when they drew the Ravens, I was like, I'm cool with that. Honestly, like if I'm going to draw somebody, Kansas City, Buffalo, let's go to Baltimore. Fuck them. Like we like playing in Baltimore. That's cool, bro. So I kind of hope that they win right around 12 would be great because I'd love a home game. But even if you get 11, I think you're probably going to Kansas City, who, Bryson, you're high on. I don't think they're going to be that dangerous, honestly. And then also the Ravens. I'm hoping if the Ravens are the 2 and we can come in at like the 6 or something like that, or the 7, I would love to see someone like that early. So I'm going to go ahead either way, no matter how you cut the cake. I'm going 11. Ceiling is 12. Aaron Rodgers takes us to the promised land. He retires on top. And Bryson, you're going to hate me for this, but my bold prediction is the Steelers win 12, the Broncos win 10, and you got to take your ass to Pittsburgh and come have some fun. Round 1.
Come see us in the wild card.
I can promise you you're not winning 12 games and winning the division.
Okay.
I can promise you that.
We'll see.
We definitely making the wild card in a playoff game.
Oh, first of all,
I don't think you are.
There is a world that we win 12 and don't take the division.
Well, sure.
Oh, yeah.
But then you'd be going on the road your first game. You'd be a wild card team.
That's nothing new to us.
We're not sweeping Baltimore. I don't think we're sweeping Baltimore. I think we can go 1-1 with Baltimore. So I guess it just really comes down to, I guess, predictions at that time, schedule overall. But hey, look, we'll see, man. But anyway, things are all said and done. I got 11 to 12. Seth, you said 10?
Yeah, 10 and 7, somewhere around there.
And then Bryson's got 8 and 9. So we're kind of all over the board here. So one guy's saying squeak into the playoffs, one guy's saying we're in the playoffs, and one guy's saying we're just falling short of the playoffs. So this should be really fun for the Steelers. What's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers? Is Mike Tomlin going to not be the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers after next year? There's a lot of things riding here on this one. All I ask, if they're going to fire anybody, just fire Arthur Smith. That's all I ask. And then we're good. And then we can go win 12 games and everyone's happy. So we'll see what happens. But, gentlemen, any other thoughts on the Pittsburgh Steelers 2025 schedule and record predictions?
I want to say Aaron Rodgers is 24-5 against the Bears, to add that little side note. So that Bears win is happening.
That's a dub. All right.
Yep.
Bryson, anything from you, my man?
No, I don't think even if they do finish with the record I have them finishing with at 8 and 9, I don't think Tomlin's in trouble of losing his job. The Steelers are notorious for being one of the most loyal and patient franchises in it. I mean, if he was going to lose his job, he would have lost it by now with the playoff losses and all that kind of stuff. He would have lost it by now. So I don't think there's anything outside of going like 4-13 he can do to lose.
The only thing I'll say about that, and you know me, I'm a believer that I don't give a shit if bro has crutches and he's crawling to the game. I don't think we should fire Mike Tomlin right now because my argument has always been, who are you going to replace him with? Who's going to do a better job than him? And I just don't see it. So that's been my argument for 5 years now at this point. So, but I will say the difference between the last few years and now is there's this narrative, and I don't even know why they're saying this because I disagree with the shit. The Steelers are all in. If I have to hear Rappaport say one more time, they're going all in. No, they're not. No, they're not. I mean, look around. No, but we didn't make it. We didn't trade up in the first round of the draft and go get somebody we really wanted. We let George Pickens walk. Like, you can say what you want. All in.
But are we all in because we made the trade for Ramsey?
The Rams went all in when they won the Super Bowl. That's all in. This isn't all in. So anyway, I do think that if they try to keep TJ, Aaron passes through and that doesn't work out. Bryson, there is a world. They win 7 games. I think there's a world where they let him go. I don't agree with it, but it could happen. Of all the different years, there hasn't been a quarterback. They had Russ and Justin and Rudolph and Pickett. And like, how are you going to fire him after that, bro? No one could have won with those teams. And he still won 9 games. So this time, though, I don't know if the excuse is necessarily there as much. So we'll see what happens. But all right, gentlemen, let's wrap this up. I'm going to make sure the next show Bryson Owens is on is the Broncos show, so we can go right back in it, because I know there was a little favoritism here. Folks, I promise you, I genuinely think they win 11 games. Bottom of my heart, I hope I'm right. If they win 7 games or less, then, maybe I'll get like I was wrong about Aaron Rodgers tattoo somewhere on my body. I don't know, bro. We'll figure it out. But until next time, guys, Mr. Seth Douglas, go ahead and give him a follow at beast_mode_11, Bryson Owens at Bryson Owens 16, and myself at Rig Sports Talk. Do us a favor, sportsformedia.com. You see it on the bottom of the screen. Check it out. Our writer's doing a great job with our articles. We got tricking you guys about when shows are coming. We got tickers going on, so you know when the next shows are coming up. We got great articles. Giveaways are coming up with the football season, so make sure to check us out there. YouTube channel at The Sports Forum. We got almost 10 of the NFL shows done for you at this point, so go click the subscribe button, drop a like, drop a comment, tell us where we're right, tell us where we're wrong. Have some fun with it. And until next time, take care, stay safe out there, and we'll see you on Monday.